Welcome to Comics League, the bane of Tom King. I'm Jared. I am here with the crew behind the Wonderboy web series. I got Brian Patterson and Navid. Welcome, gentlemen.
Thank you. This is
Thank
exciting.
you for having us.
Anytime. So I checked out the series. It's because I think Brian and I are in like a lot of Wonder Woman Facebook groups together. So I'm aware we're very aware of each other. And so I saw this and I checked it out and I'm like, as soon as I heard like Bobby Barnes, I'm like, where have I heard that name before? Yeah. And then I'm flipping through the omnibus and I go, oh, okay.
Ding, 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 ding.
Because here's the thing. That's the thing with the fandom where I'm like, it would be interesting to have a male member of the Wonder family, because it's like, it's essentially like how Kara is the female version of the Super family and stuff. So I'm like, that is very unique. So where did the idea for this series come from?
Oh, it's funny. I get this question a lot and it's always the same answer. It was born out of trauma.
Okay.
The whole thing was born out of trauma. Typical artist, you're going through something. I went through a really rough period. And then as I was going through the rough period, it got even rougher. Went into lockdown because the coronavirus happened.
The global pandemic.
And so I'm sitting there and I'm thinking to myself, how am I going to make life work? And long story short, I said, I'm going to make myself into a superhero, but how do I make myself into a Wonder Woman? Because that's the one that I so closely associate with. And when I just sat and I was reading Wonder Woman comics throughout the lockdown, and I came upon Phil Jimenez's, Wonder Boys, because obviously Phil is in my top 5 of everything.
Mine too, bro. Mine too.
Just everything. And so at the end of that issue, I was like, I know, Wonder Boy. And so I started reaching out to people, and Navid was one of the people that I reached out to. And here we are 5 years later. And now we've got episodes, website, we're doing interviews. Who knew this was going to happen?
Who knew? Yeah, so 2020 is around the time I started the channel as well. So, hey, small world.
Yeah.
Wow.
See?
I was going
Everybody
through
was
school,
inspired.
and it's like I didn't have anything to do. And so I'm getting out of the dentist's office, and I'm flipping through Twitter, and then I see like the poster for the Snyder Cut that just got announced, and I was like,
oh, yeah.
What?
That got announced around the same time.
Yeah, exactly. And then I started this, and it's all been nuts. But yeah. So now let me ask you guys this. So what got you into Wonder Woman as a character?
Linda Carter.
That goes back.
Linda Carter. I saw that coming a mile away.
Yeah, Linda Carter.
I saw that coming a mile away. Yeah.
She's the embodiment of Wonder Woman.
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah, particularly for like that age of Wonder Woman in terms of the more like Silver Age-y thing, because I checked out a couple of episodes of the show and it's like, okay, I like this. My favorite part of the show is I like when they have like the little transition scenes that have like the comic book panels on their display in Washington DC. I like when they actually do that. I'm like, why don't more shows do that?
It was with the captions and everything. And also, Brian, you went out and shot scenes from the actual IADC building.
I did.
That appeared in the Linda Carter show. So that's there as well on Wonder Boy.
Yeah. With me, it was obviously, I mean, I got into it around the time that like BVS was coming out, and like obviously her movie came out, which I loved her first movie. Second movie, not so much. Not so much. I get what they're going for. Wonder Woman having her own big Wonder Woman having her big moment where she sleeps with a body that Steve Trevor's inhabiting didn't sit well with me.
It didn't sit well with a lot of people.
Yeah, exactly.
It didn't.
But it was with that, and then actually, so it's always been like the Trinity have been like the characters I gravitated to most. mostly Superman and Wonder Woman because I think Batman gets way too much attention. But and then it was like talking about like Wonder Woman on this show, and I was like, okay, I did, because I've always loved Greek myth, and it's like which character is really the most
absolutely
tied
into that tracks.
I'm
that
like,
tracks.
wait a minute. Now, okay, I gotta ask, top 5 Wonder Woman writers.
Oh, top 5. Brian, you go first.
Okay, I'll go first. Top 5 Wonder Woman writers. Obviously, Marston.
Yeah.
Phil Jimenez. George Perez.
I was about to say George Perez that better be on that list.
Oh yeah. Greg Rucka.
Okay.
Greg Rucka.
And you can't ignore Gail Simone.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, there's one that I think is tied. But I'm gonna let Navid answer this.
Go ahead.
You know, it's crazy. I was gonna say those 5 as well. I'm gonna start with William Marston. Second up would be Phil Jimenez. Gail Simone. I don't know. Gail Simone's Wonder Woman was like the first comics for Wonder Woman that I read personally. So it has like a really big soft spot for me. Phil Jimenez, George Perez, of course, Greg Rucka. Recently, though, we do have Kelly Sue DeConnick with Wonder Woman Historia. We have Kelly. And of course, I'm just really loving Absolute Wonder Woman right now. So
it is the best book DC is putting out right now is Absolute. So for me, it's currently Kelly Thompson because Absolute Wonder Woman, Perez, Jimenez, Rucka, his first run, not the Rebirth one. I hated the Rebirth run.
You're gonna love Veronica Cale then.
Yeah.
Oh, I love Veronica Cale in this series, bro. Oh my gosh.
Oh, good.
So Charles Soule, he wrote Wonder Woman in the Superman Wonder Woman series.
Yeah, I remember Charles Soule.
There's this great scene where, so obviously in this series, Superman and Wonder Woman are dating. She brings him to meet her family, which are the Greek gods. Apollo, the god of the sun, decides to mouth off to Superman. And
the sun god.
Yeah, exactly. And I love this. So Superman goes, "You're a god, right? That's not just some like affectation." He goes, "Of course I'm a god, you creature." Superman says, "Okay, good. I'm going to punch you really hard. Now, normally when I punch someone, I have to hold back because they're humans and stuff, and I don't want to squish them. I can just go full off on." And then Apollo just swats him. Then he blasts Superman with sunlight. And then Superman's like glowing gold. And he goes, "You don't know that much about me, do you?" And then just throws him through a volcano. And then he turns to Diana. He goes, "Before you say anything, I know you could have handled it." And Diana says, "Yeah, but it was hilarious to watch."
The new 52
moments
was
like
wild.
that where I'm like, yes.
Yeah, it was so what was not Diana the goddess of war in that same timeline?
They did that. They did that, which I get what they're going for, and there was a cool like story. It's just too many writers did really stupid stuff with it. When I was like, what?
You mentioned Kratos before from God of War. I think that was very popular around the time New 52 came out. So they were kind of going for that, and then I'm glad that got rebooted.
Yeah. Well, so I'll ask this because you're on this channel. Where do you stand on the Superman Wonder Woman relationship? I gotta ask if you're on this channel. I gotta ask.
Not a fan.
All right. You're allowed to be wrong. It's all good.
Okay, if you ask me, I'm gonna say no. Big no on Diana dating any member of the Trinity, whether it's Batman or Superman.
Okay. At least you're consistent with that.
Oh yeah, no, because I think those 3 work so much better when they're platonic and they have their own. When we see their friendship, that's something I always enjoy looking at.
Yeah, absolutely. Don't tell Bruce Timm.
No.
Here's the thing. I don't mind them exploring it, but I don't think that's where they should end up.
Kingdom Come. I mean, here's the funny part about it. This is the way I always think about it. So she's immortal as far as we know, and as long as that sun remains yellow, Superman's gonna live. It's inevitable.
that they would explore something. I would kind of tie back into a moment at the end of the Linda Carter series, because in the very last episode, she
The Man
hints
Who Could Not
at
Die.
the man who could not die, and she was like, "Well, you could call yourself the Man of Steel because
I know." My co-host and I talked about that. I was like, "Oh, this is clearly inspired by Superman."
Oh yeah,
because the Christopher Reeve films were out at the time, so it was like definitely influencing the show, and I'm pretty sure Linda Carter's Diana Prince had some reflection on Christopher Reeve's Clark Kent. There was something there in the performance. I could be wrong, but I don't know. As a fan, it always seemed there was something there.
So I'm gonna say this. So when I watched the series today, I'm a Slade Wilson fan, and I need. And no, I'm gonna say this is good. You guys nailed Deathstroke.
Yes,
I was going to tell you that because I was like, okay, how is this going to go? And then I see it. I'm like, okay, then I see what you're going for. It actually works for him. Great job. So many people get him wrong.
Thank you.
Ben's going to be so happy. Ben's going to be really happy.
Ben's going to love that. Also, I don't know if anyone really got the reference. It's not very blatant, but
yes.
When Slade was on the phone and he was talking about hey,
Wintergreen.
What did he say?
Wintergreen.
What did he say, Navid?
To Wintergreen. He's talking to Wintergreen.
Yeah, he's talking to Wintergreen, and he's talking about how, he's not going to be as much of a problem as she was.
Wonder Woman.
Do you remember the interaction between Slade and Wonder Woman when they went undercover?
They went undercover?
In post-crisis.
Yeah, it was in post-crisis.
Which
just after the George... It was just after George
It was a one-shot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was a one shot,
William
and it was William
Messner
you got
Rhodes,
it. Yeah. And they went undercover together, and Slade decided to. I think he got a little sassy with her, and she had to put him in his place.
Yeah,
yeah, that's right. Get sassy with Wonder Woman. That's going to turn out real well for you.
Right.
It's going to get out real well. That's like when Hal Jordan was being an a-hole to Wonder Woman, and then they're fighting. And then Diana goes, "This gives me no pleasure, but I'm sure you've heard that before." I'm like, see, that's the thing. I love when writers can like channel how sassy Diana is, because she's like the sass queen in like the way I kind of see it of the Justice League. So I really dig that.
Susan.
Are you guys seeing this? We already have questions.
Yeah, it's live. So Hunter asked, I have a question. Will Wonder Woman's half siblings, I mean by half brothers, will they show up in the show? Well, for first off, this is the version of Wonder Woman that's not a daughter of Zeus, I assume.
Absolutely because not. I don't even like to think about
Trust
that.
Me, I don't like that either. I'm like, what?
Can you find me anyone who actually genuinely liked the Zeus origin?
Well, with me, it's like I don't have an aversion to it. It's more like I prefer the clay origin, obviously, but it's more of like, look, it depends on the story they're trying to go for Wonder Woman, because there are some stories where it works.
Yeah.
Most of the time, particularly for in canon Wonder Woman, you can't go with the Zeus origin.
No, I think it doesn't fit with the character that was intended by Marston.
No.
Absolutely not. Because with William Marston, the clay origin was so unique, and it went back to the way humans were actually seen to be created in Greek mythology as well.
Yeah.
So there are like different ages of man in Greek mythology, and that works with, I think in the George Perez run, there's this one issue co-written with Mindy Newell where they talk about Pandora's origin and Gaia's origin. And then it goes into Diana being born of clay, just like Gaia and Pandora. So it tracks. The clay origin is unique to her. Well, but then when you make her a daughter of Zeus, it's like, oh, okay, so we're getting like a more streamlined version, which is
I mean, I get what they're for the movies. I get it because you're trying to appeal to like the general audience, and they're like, and Clash of the Titans had just come out, so it's like I get it, but it's like it does work.
The movies, I don't get it.
Well, yeah. Here's the funny part about that I realized: the clay origin. She's literally an Earth woman, like literally an Earth woman.
Yeah, like from Earth, from the from the soil itself. Also, the Gail Simone run explored that as well, like very well with the circle, and
Yeah.
there were all these things with to answer the question, whether or not there will be, what was the question, like whether there will be siblings,
Half
Diana
brothers or siblings?
We do see Bobby as a brother, but as a spiritual brother. So there's that.
There is that. I'll take that. So do you, or were there other plans to include any of the Wonder Girls?
Oh yes, we have.
Thank you.
We know the Wonder Girls, but again, this is a reminder that our show is based in, or it starts off in, the Linda Carter timeline. So
good. All right, yeah.
So there are Wonder Girls in the Linda Carter timeline that fall really well with what you've seen in post-crisis comics, because they were just so much influenced by the popularity of the show and everything that came after that. So yeah, we have taken Wonder Girl into account, but for now, at least with the early part of the season, right now we're focused on the story of Bobby Barnes and what really happened to this one boy who was hinted at 20 years ago, and where is he now? Where is he today? What has been going on with him? How did he get there? And because just one or two appearances in the comics, that's not enough to explore a character who was just so rich, filled with so much potential.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. The potential is there, and I'm like, again, the potential story of like having a male part of this traditional female cast. It's like, okay, it would be kind of cool to see how that factors into like his character in the comics or even in this. So it's like I can see where that's going for.
It will, and if I can just say that I've already written for the cinematic film that we want to also have available in script form. I've already written a scene where all of the Amazon tribes come together at a hall and they debate whether or not he should be a wonder because of his male status.
That would happen. That would 100%
yeah, it would totally happen. And my I don't know, my creative brain tells me that I want to pull in as many women from as many different walks of life as possible to represent all of these women who walk so many different walks of life.
Yeah, because the Amazons are not like one idea of like what a woman is. There's so many different tribes. So of course it would make sense to have like to have like a lot of diversity in the Amazons.
One of the women
that
one of the women that immediately came to mind was like, oh, we need a right-leaning Amazon. Let's get Gina Carano.
That was
okay. But do you see what I mean? Like
we did discuss that. Yeah, we had that discussion, and we were like, okay, so what happens if, because I believe Gina Carano was for the longest time fan cast as Diana.
Either Diana or Barda, I think. Yeah.
Mostly Barda.
Yeah, she was.
yeah.
And then after her very, very, very transphobic remarks, it just went downhill from there.
Yeah, true. So, but can you imagine somebody from the right coming and representing that? Like we won't. That's what Wonder Woman is all about. Wonder Woman is about hearing other voices. It's about coming together. It's about unity. It's about love. It's about wisdom. So that's what we want to represent in this project.
Exactly.
Because quite frankly, I don't think I've seen it represented as well as it could have been in many DC and Warner Brothers projects.
Well, yeah, and I think in terms of like at least the intellectual diversity, in terms of like right-leaning versus left-leaning, I think too many writers come from exclusively that left-leaning space, and they don't think, okay, so how, unless it's like, because here's the thing, oftentimes when like Hollywood tries to portray a right-leaning individual, they portray them as like the most stereotypical, like worst example of a right-leaning person, where, hey, go outside and meet your neighbor, and it's like, are they really that like crazy?
There is just as much diversity on the right as there is on the left.
Yeah. So and it's like, that's what I appreciate, because it's like, again, too many times it's like, oh, I see this too many times on social media where they're like, oh, Wonder Woman would be this way, Wonder Woman would be this way, Wonder Woman would be this way, and I go, well, here's the thing about Wonder Woman. she would hear out both sides, because not only is she like a
Yeah.
warrior, but she's an orator. She's like she's a diplomat. There was
An
the longest time
ambassador,
when she had the
an ambassador for
Yeah,
peace.
exactly. There was an issue in the day in the life of Wonder Woman where she had to go to Lex Luthor because he's the president of the United States. So I'm like, if she can handle him, she can handle anyone.
And do
That
you
was
remember
also
when
in
she
the-
helped dissolve the monarchy?
Yeah.
The Phil Jimenez run. So
Yeah.
again, like there's just so like that entire run is just so rich with the themes and
It
content.
really
Just,
expanded on the Amazons and stuff. And
Yeah.
that's one of the things I said when I reviewed it. And the other thing about it, it's one of those runs where you could go from George Perez, skip everything else, go to Phil Jimenez, and it feels like the exact same character. Like,
Definitely.
It's so true. Phil Jimenez he's just like the greatest Wonder Woman writer, because even when he's writing an issue like Guy Gardner, New Warriors, he would include an interaction with Donna and Artemis. So and they're like talking, and this is at a time when Diana was no longer Wonder Woman and Artemis had just come in. And Donna was and then they were like and Donna's like, you don't deserve to wear that logo, and put the lasso down. And so that little interaction with just 2 panels would just make you so happy as a Wonder Woman fan, because these 2 characters never even interacted in the actual Wonder Woman books at the time. But Phil Jimenez was there. He was like, let's bring them together.
I just saw a note that said, reminder for everyone, Diana is for truth. And that is true, which is why she would want to get all the available information possible.
Because that's how you get the truth.
Because
in fact,
that's how you come to the truth.
I've long said that when you really think about it and break it down, she is the most important DC character. Some people would say Superman, some people would say Batman. Here's why. So the reason why the Trinity is a thing and it works is because they each represent one of the 3 components of being a superhero. Superman's hope, Batman's justice, Wonder Woman's truth. You can't have justice without truth, and you can't be hopeful unless there's truth involved. So if everything's revolving around truth, what's the most important thing?
That is really good. Yeah, that is a really good way of looking into it.
Yeah, so it's like, and the funny part, so she's technically the most important character. She's the character DC mistreats the most.
I'm like, they don't understand how to utilize her, and I'm going to tell you why.
They still call her the pillar of DC. She's our most important female character, and I go, yeah, act like it.
Yes, and I'm going to tell you why I think people have such difficulty utilizing her is because, you ready? Humans are not by nature truthful.
Yeah, it's so true. That's a good point. I never thought of that.
And so something that Navid and I want to explore in the new Adventures of Wonderboy is Diana is truth, but Bobby is going to be more authenticity. And there's a very fine line between truth and authenticity. And I think as we evolve this project, if we have a chance to evolve it as much as I would love to, we would want to have that be a fundamental principle and through line for the project is, what does it mean to be truly authentic to oneself?
Yeah, and actually going off of that, that's why I always lean more to the Superman Wonder Woman relationship, because here's the thing. Hear me out on this. Because here's what it is. Because Wonder Woman's whole thing, because Superman's thing is, so he has the Clark Kent, by the way, great inclusion of Clark Kent. I was like, glasses, dude. I was like, okay. As soon as I was
when you're mentioning Superman, I was like, okay, I do get the idea of the Superman and Wonder Woman pair up. We do have a lot of interesting pair ups here as well, especially with a certain boy who's also a little bit super. So there are things.
Okay, I see what you're doing. But yeah, so it's like with Superman, he always has that like Clark Kent, and like he can't always be 100% like himself, because he always has to hide being Superman. With Wonder Woman, she's all about being your authentic self, being who you really are deep down, whether or not that's like, hey, it could be like straight, gay, whatever. It just be who you are and be proud of that. And that's what she kind of challenges him in like their series. And beyond on that. And then he teaches her, you don't have to be Wonder Woman all the time. You can like have fun and just go to the movies per se or something like that.
Marston actually explored that in his book.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
so
the whole idea of...
Did you guys see the Marston like biographical movie?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the
Did you know that movie lies?
Womp womp.
Professor Marston and the
Wonder Woman.
Yeah, I saw that a couple of times, and then I'm like, okay, because here's the thing about it, and the Marstons have been very open about this.
Yeah,
I know. She told me.
Yeah,
we were in conversation with her, so yeah, she was very open about some of the embellishments on that film.
Yeah, it's like as soon as I find, so there are still people on Twitter that think that like when he died, the two women were who were together, and I go, according to them, that wasn't a thing, or like they're kind of sure it wasn't a thing. So I'm like, why change that? Like,
I think with biopics, it is important to involve the people you're actually making a movie about.
Well,
so,
yeah, you would think, right? You would think,
right? Yeah. Yeah,
I agree, and I was happy that the people who made the film, they admitted we made this up.
You know what? I respect that. I respect that. But it's like but from a standpoint of telling the story, I'm like, okay, I'm glad a movie like this exists because of how important this character is. And again, it's like the fact that like Diana is that this also came out at the same time as her first his first live action movie, which was utterly spectacular.
Yeah. You want a movie like that.
Mm-hmm. To your left. Your left. Mm-hmm. Look down. What is that Wonder Woman drawing? Is that a bedding?
Oh yeah. So at DC Comics, I got a blanket.
Brilliant.
I got a blanket, so I have it in the background as a little item there.
That is brilliant. It's beautiful.
And then in front of me,
if you get a chance, send me a link.
Oh wow!
In front of me, I have all the Hot Toys.
If you get a chance, send me a link to that blanket.
Yeah, it's so good. I figure because again, this was when I decided, okay, because I had not done a Wonder Woman exclusive show in there, so I was like, okay, there you go. So and then I saw that, and I was like, okay, and then I got the hoodie at the same time, so I was like,
that's awesome.
I love it.
I
love it.
Yeah, and then the hoodie has the back part.
Right? Oh, look at that!
Nice. That is brilliant. That artist paid particular homage, and since we were talking about the clay origin, I wanted to talk about one thing about Wonderboy is there was a particular homage that artist paid to Aphrodite and Athena in one of his drawings. And I don't know if you noticed, but Aphrodite and Athena are the two goddesses who blessed Bobby with his powers.
I figured. As soon as I saw, I was like, "There's only two goddesses that this could be." I don't see Hera doing this.
No,
it was Aphrodite and Athena. And also to kind of go back to you, Jared, with your recent Kickstarter project with Athena and the comic book. Yeah, I mean that is very inspiring. Like what you said that was like based or inspired by Wonder Woman.
Yeah. So, okay. So, and it's kind of funny. The number one question I got about that is that, Athena was not the goddess of thunder, right? And I go, I know. Yes. The point of it is that she goes on a journey learning how to be a superhero and using her powers for good. So she gains that knowledge. That's what the Athena part is. But
also, wouldn't she be first in line to take over after Zeus?
Well, yeah. That's true. And
which she did.
Yes, exactly.
Which she did.
The part about this, and that was fantastic in that run, by the way. The point of it was, I had seen that, like, as I mentioned before, Wonder Woman hasn't been treated with the respect that she deserves by DC Comics, particularly by Tom King, but it's not just him. But he was just the last straw. So it was one of those occasions where I'm like, it's the Thanos meme. Fine, I'll do it myself. And I was like, okay, if I wrote this character, this is kind of what I would do.
Yeah, Navid is already thinking what I'm about to say, which is we that's kind of where we were going. We were like, oh, you don't want to treat her with the kind of, the kind of deference that she deserves. We'll do it ourselves.
Well, I'll just play a clip for that. I figured that was appropriate, but yeah. So,
That's from 300. That's from
exactly. I figured that was appropriate, but yeah, it's like, because here's the thing. What I always say, and this is why I even started the hashtag, because when I always say that when the studio or the comic book house, what have you, won't respect these characters, when they won't take that responsibility, it's the responsibility of the fans to do so. Civilly, of course, don't be an a-hole on the internet, but it's like, it's to protect the integrity of these characters, because too many times I see people saying, oh, who cares about what Tom King is doing? He'll be off the book. And I go, yeah, but a Joe Schmo that picks up a Wonder Woman book and sees her coercing someone to carving the word liar onto their chest. Sorry, spoilers, that happens in the thing. I'm like, they're going to think that's who Wonder Woman is.
Can we just point out to this one comment right now? It's
sure.
Emperor Luffy 6001 says, I have no idea what Wonder Boy is though. Haven't heard any news about it. So Brian, you wanna talk about
it? Sure.
Yeah, go ahead.
It is. I'll let you start it off with Phil Jimenez. You go.
Okay, so the New Adventures of Wonderboy is a continuation of the Linda Carter series. It is a web series that you can see on YouTube right now, with the season currently out, with a series of clips. And and it explores Phil Jimenez's original character named Bobby Barnes, who appeared in issue number 188.
And it actually takes Bobby Barnes from that issue and develops him into Wonderboy, who is the name that Wonder Woman literally gave him at the end of the issue.
Yep.
And it shows how he got powers. It shows what his mission is, and also how he kind of picks up the mantle, the Wonder Mantle, and also the mantle of what Wonder Woman is supposed to do here in the world.
There you go.
On our world, on the mortal plane specifically, and being that bridge, exploring those sides of the Wonder Woman mythos and mythology in general that Diana doesn't necessarily always have time for, because she's always like busy with doing her things. And so we explored that with the New Adventures of Wonderboy.
Yeah, there you go. And the clips were great. I like the dynamic between him and Connor. As a matter of fact, I was like, it's kind of funny. I could see this actually happening in the comics. So I'm like, okay, I like this. The interaction is authentic enough. It sounded like Connor, which again, that's another character DC doesn't do well. So, and I gotta be honest, I loved the t-shirt and jeans, Connor. Thank you for giving me that back for like 5 minutes. I was like, because I don't like modern him having like the jacket and the slick back hair. I go, that's not what would people wear nowadays.
Well, also, I had no budget.
Luckily, the costume is that. So it's like, that's the easiest costume to do ever. That's what whenever I go to con, I just throw on a jeans, that shirt, and some like combat gloves, and I go as Connor. That works perfectly. So I'm like,
it does.
It's the cheapest cosplay ever.
Also, for that person, if you wanted, you could go to wonderboytvshow.com or use at Wonderboy TV Show, and it'll be anywhere in all of the social media. But Wonderboy TV Show is how you get there.
All in the description. And here's the thing. Here's the other part that really interested me about this. And this is, again, why I started the Wonder Woman show. So I can tell we're very simpatico on that. She doesn't get enough attention and love by the DC fandom and period. So I'm like, someone's got to do it.
Exactly, yeah. Because I think one of the other things that Brian and I discussed early on was there are so many Batman and Superman spin-offs. You had Gotham, you had Krypton, Supergirl was on, Batwoman was on the CW. I think they were trying to develop a Yara Flor
They were.
CW series.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were, and then it didn't get picked up. So as Wonder Woman fans, you're constantly frustrated. You're like, "Where's the other spin-off
Where's
that we
the
want to see?"
game? Remember that? Remember the
Right?
pain of that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I think that the Yara Flor project was it was kicked to the curb because they saw the writing on the wall that the CW was going to go defunct.
Well,
Oh
yeah.
yeah,
and
because they were on they were about to get shut down. at the
don't
time.
worry, Gotham Knights would save the CW. Remember that show? Oh my god. I got a little creeped out
Oh.
when like Carrie Kelly says that Bruce called her his little Robin, and I go, that's kind of creepy. I don't like that. Like that's where the Robin name came from.
Little Robin. Yeah. A lot of potential to kind of do Gotham Knights with Superman and Lois, which was a series I really liked.
That was good. That was excellent. And you know what? So I am a defender of Titans, particularly as it applies to like Donna, because
Yes.
wasn't perfect. Don't get me wrong, but Donna, I think at the very least they did that actually pretty decent.
Not bad.
Connor Leslie is amazing. Yeah, she really kind of embodied the George Perez era Donna Troy in what little we got. Because again, like I think we got like 2 or 3 Donna-centric episodes in the entire series.
And then she died getting electrocuted, and I'm like, what? That's it.
Spoilers for those who haven't seen Titans yet, but yeah.
So
speaking
of Deathstroke, pretty awesome portrayal of Slade Wilson. He gets such view. I'm like, oh, there you go. I dig that.
Funny, I know someone. I know a manager who knows the actor who played Slade Wilson in that show, and I was this close to being like, "Do you think you could reach out to him and see if he'll just come on our little show?" And I was like, "Nah, it's not gonna work."
That'd be a hell of a cameo, though.
Yeah, it would.
He plays Wintergreen.
That would work. That would work.
I'm just saying, bro.
Oh my god, that's brilliant. He wouldn't have to go anywhere. We could just film him on, while
Zoom
he's in his house or something on a phone call.
Can you imagine? It's like, okay, so we got a Titans actor. He's playing Wintergreen. You'll never guess who it is.
But Wintergreen is a badass himself, though. Like some of those, in those Marv Wolfman Deathstroke issues, he was the narrator. He was like writing these dispatch notes, and you're like, "Oh, maybe I'm reading a war novel right now."
Yeah, there was. I don't know if you guys saw this, but they had a Deathstroke animated movie, and thank God they didn't hold back on the blood, because in a Deathstroke movie you would expect this to be like not like Teen Titans Go type of animation. He straight up slices people into pieces in this story. So I'm like, yep, there you go. That's like, or it's like in the original Teen Titans cartoon where he's just called Slade. But I'm like, when you know the comics, I'm like, oh, that sucks. He could be so much better.
Yeah, it was just
censorship.
But there was like a lot of fans for the 2003 Teen Titans and that version of Slade as well. They were like,
I know. Nostalgia.
There's like an entire generation of people. Yeah, entire generation are just in love with that.
Same thing as there's so many. There's a generation of fans that think that because Batman and Wonder Woman were flirty in the DCAU, that they've always been a couple. To which I'm like, read a freaking comic book, guys, because that has never been a thing.
So the actor who played Slade Wilson in my show is 6'8", and I am looking forward to the shot that we do when he and Slade finally go toe to toe when Wonderboy's like this. It's gonna be amazing.
Like, hi, what's up, Slade? But yeah.
Also, just a reminder that this is Slade Wilson in Earth 76 in the Linda Carter continuity. And when Brian and I, when we were kind of doing the series Bible, we took our time to kind of do the entire timeline, and it kind of, we did like, it like is, and this is like
all universes timeline, and so there's some amalgamation of post-crisis Wonder Woman and Linda Carter Wonder Woman, but what are you gonna do?
Again, they're very similar in terms of like it's not like where
The
there's
tone.
like a vast change in characterization between Linda and like say Perez. They're pretty much the same thing. So it's like it's got to be an easy transition, if you will.
To transition, yeah. And also like the issue where Bobby Barnes appears in Wonder Woman 188.
She wears
Phil
Linda
Jimenez,
Carter's outfit.
the
Yeah, exactly.
Linda Carter outfit. It was an entire homage to Linda Carter, at least in the first part, where she's also wearing the blue costume from when she's riding the bike.
The
So,
diving outfit.
Yeah, but can I say I love the image of Wonder Woman having a cape. I wish they would give her a cape again.
yeah, right. The cape just works so well.
It looks cool, and plus, again, Greek myth, they have capes. Absolute Wonder Woman has a cape.
She has a cape.
And a giant ass sword, but who knows? But it's like
A Soul Calibur blade, basically.
yeah, exactly. The sword of Athena that grows massively, so she can cut a Greek monster in half.
Like
I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
that works. But and Cameron says Ashok deserves to be R-rated. Yeah, and then Cameron says Donna and Nightwing's relationship was good, but that was their answer to Wonder Bat. Yeah, see, here's the thing though. Here's my problem with a lot of DC shows. I get why creatively they had to do it, but it's like if you notice in like Smallville, let's take Smallville as an example. They reference every other D-list to Z-list character. Okay, so let's not have Clark. Let's not even reference. Okay, you can't say offhandedly, "Oh yeah, we were in DC and this like warrior Amazon came out of nowhere." You have freaking Booster Gold.
No. There were references. Well, first of all, Linda Carter was on Smallville for one episode.
Yes.
So there's that, and the episode was called Truth, where I think Chloe she gets the powers to kind of to basically the last of truth powers, where no one can lie to her. So as a journalist, it's like the best power ever, I guess, for her. And then there's like references to the princess of. Or no, the Queen of the Amazons, or the Queen of Themyscira, and Erica Durance. She comes in Lois Lane. She comes in wearing the Wonder Woman costume.
Yeah.
So there were references.
Diana. It's not Diana.
It's not Diana.
She came out in the comics, and I'm like, okay, at least there was something. But then they also changed the lore. So Steve Trevor crash landed on the island as a kid, and they grew up together. And I go, I don't think I like that. I'm like, nah.
Like Smallville is such a different kind of imagination where everything is subverted. It is a subversive take on the entire.
And the funny part, it's supposed to be an origin for Superman. By the time he becomes Superman, he's fought Doomsday.
Oh yeah, he's already fought Doomsday.
I'm like, all of your rogues, including Darkseid, you've already fought. So I'm like, what left is there for you to do, bro? Oh,
not a ton.
And they made Doomsday basically the Hulk.
Oh yeah, there was
in Smallville.
Also, in Smallville there was.
It was the idea where like, okay, so this is how they did Doomsday. You ready? It was so at the same time as Clark's pod landed, another pod landed with like this experiment kid. And then it like took the form of like a human kid that was taken in by the Luthors, and then it was tortured and experimented on. Then eventually it adapted and became Doomsday. But then this guy, so it turns out with this guy, when he becomes angry, he turns into this rage monster. And I'm like, that's what you do?
Well, it's interesting as I'm reading a lot of these comments and I'm listening to our conversation for the last, 20 minutes, maybe 15. I think about something that Navid and I kind of wanted to do together, which is you have this comic book with Bobby Barnes.
Yeah.
And then you have nothing about him for years.
Yeah.
I really wanted to exemplify to DC Comics, to Warner Brothers, is that there are so many nuggets, many nuggets of possibility. I've said this before that, there are 60 minutes in an hour. There are 24 hours in a day. Why don't you tell the stories that happen in all of those minutes that happen? Why don't you go back and look in between all of the time that happens between stories and tell what happens in between?
But
Bobby
so
Barnes
hard.
is this. Bobby Barnes is this concept.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. It's like, here's the thing about Wonder Woman. It's like anyone says that like, oh, no one cares about her world, or like it's boring. Like that's because they don't put
Nobody
creative
explored it.
people enough on it to explore. Because when you look at Diana's world, like in the Rucka run or the Jimenez run, there's so much.
It's so rich.
Or just even like the whole concept of Wonder Woman as this figure from Greek mythology. No other character can bring the classical literatures to as a subtext like she can. Like you don't have that with Superman, with science fiction. You don't have that with Batman, with film noir and detective novels. But with Wonder Woman, immediately you have this entire subtext of classical Greek literature, and also like just the classics. You have the poetry of Sappho. You have the Homeric legacy and tradition there.
Hesiod.
You have Hesiod, exactly.
Thucydides.
There's any
Ovid.
number.
Endless of them. The other thing is that, we wouldn't have to keep resetting the universe if we just kept telling more stories that are hidden in between.
Or if editorial actually did their jobs and making sure that people actually understand what the frickin' timeline is.
Right.
What?
The timeline.
It's like, have you ever told anyone? It's like if someone comes up to me and says, okay, Jared, I want to start reading Batman. Where do I start? And I go, how many hours do you have? Because that's going to take a while.
That's a long time.
It's like, poof.
So how many lifetimes do you have? Because you'd need
with Wonder Woman, I just say, just pick up the first trade of Perez. You're good to go. Just go off of that. That gives you enough. Everyone bases their version off that, which is hilarious because it's kind of funny. Every writer comes on and talks about how great the Perez run is. It is, but then they try and change stuff from it. Like they put Steve with Diana. They completely try and undermine it. And I go, then why are you talking about how it's like the blueprint, for lack of a better term? I don't understand this.
Yeah, that's a good point. One of the recommendations I always give for first-time Wonder Woman readers is Renee DeLiz's The Legend of Wonder Woman.
I'm just reading that right now. It is so good.
Which one?
It is. This is called the Legend of Wonder Woman by Renee
it was
DeLiz.
so good. So
right?
good.
Oh,
I know, right?
The artwork was so good. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's it's accessible for all ages as well. And I think that's important.
Because, exactly. And the other thing is what that series does so well is you can see when Diana grows up, she doesn't change that much. What I mean by that is that she's always nice, very optimistic, very hopeful person. That doesn't change as you grow up. And I'm trying to get my co-host to read that series. And I go, Britt, read the damn series. Trust me.
Read the series.
Yeah. And then Britt, my co-host, brings up that her world's intimidating because you have a female lead delving into political topics people shy away from. Well, the other thing is when Tomasi came on the Superman Wonder Woman book, he said he has trouble writing Wonder Woman because she demands the spotlight. You can't put her in the background. And I go,
that's not true.
She's Wonder Woman. Well, it's
like true.
Well, yeah, that's true. But I mean. What I mean by is I actually said that, but trust me.
But I get what you mean. Yeah, I get what you mean with that.
He's
you want to put
which is funny because when he wrote Superman, he would put Lois in the background and have her make pies, and I go, okay. Well, and it's kind of funny. Whenever a writer says Diana's hard to write for, you know what I always say?
Yeah.
You're lying.
Probably don't understand her.
She's not hard to write. It's not that hard to do. Britt and I have an entire fan universal writing on this, and it aligns with the comics. You guys are doing Wonder Woman stuff. It's not hard to write this character. You just have to. It's a novel concept. You just have to read. You have to read.
Well, yeah.
You gotta read.
It's a
and
new
listen.
concept.
Not only read, but I think that people really need to there's something that I believe is missing from our society in this age of independence, in this age of isolation, in this age of social media, is empathy. To be able to put your feet into someone else's shoes and understand how they see and feel the world. And Wonder Woman is very unique because, number one, she has access to all of her authenticity, her honesty, which truth we as humans don't normally have access to all the time, but also to understand what her intent, the intention of her character is. And I'd like to read a quote from Marston.
Absolutely.
Women's strong qualities have become despised because of their weakness. The obvious remedy is to create a feminine character with all the strength of Superman and the allure of a good and beautiful woman. So love was her superpower. That was Wonder Woman's superpower, is love. And I don't think that people truly understand what love means. And while you are correct down there with your comment that all you need are good writers and a creative imagination, we also need more evolved writers so that they can understand how to get into those shoes.
The other thing is, and this is what I see on Twitter a lot, people say Wonder Woman loves everyone, or like her superpowers love, but interpret that very, very, very literally in terms of all of a sudden it's like, oh, she literally loves everyone, if you catch my drift. And I go, that's not what I mean.
There are different.
There's a
love
different type of love there.
Yes,
there are different
and
kinds of love as well.
I would refer to Mel Robbins and how she refers to love, which is let them be who they are. You accept them for everything they are, and they're not. But you also believe in their reform.
Yeah, exactly. And
you believe in the best that they can be.
Yeah, and it's like that's what. Go ahead.
No, as I was saying, like, and this is so interesting that the theme of reformation comes so well into all of the best Wonder Woman stories out there, starting from Marston with Reformation Island, with Rehabilitation Island. It
Silver
continues
Swan.
with
Yes.
Silver Swan, Julia Capitales,
Cheetah,
the Philip, Cheetah, even Cersei in the Phil Jimenez run, and also in Absolute. Yeah, in Absolute right now. So
my fan theory, by the way. My fan theory, I have a theory about Absolute Wonder Woman, and it's that, so in that book, Cersei basically says that as she spent more time with Diana, she felt herself softening, becoming more like open. I have a theory that Diana has a passive ability that when you're around her, she like makes you more peaceful and more like, for lack of a better term, she kind of pacifies you.
I believe you're right. And here's
like an aura.
Here's how I think you are right, is people will, once they continue to watch the new Adventures of Wonderboy, they're going to start to realize, wait a minute, everyone ends up being Bobby's friend. What's up with that? He's going to go toe-to-toe with Slade, but they end up becoming friends. He's going to go toe-to-toe with some of the worst people, but they end up becoming cool with each other. He's going to be able to just sit and level with people that you would never expect him to be able to level with. And I think that Wonder Woman also has that same ability to just meet people where they are, accept them for who they are and who they're not, and to tell them that she believes in them and she cares about them and she listens to them. And that's what's missing with people. People don't listen to each other.
Well, the other thing, and Cameron brings this up, too many people take Injustice's version of Wonder Woman as like, that's what the character is. Because let me put it this way. Wonder Woman's the reason why I think the Injustice series, the games and the comics, should die a painful death. Because it's like, that's the one where it's like, so that's the universe where Wonder Woman wanted to... So do you know the origin of Injustice Wonder Woman?
No.
Like they actually did an issue where they described this. All right, so here's the origin. So what happens is in World War II, Steve crashes on the island. She takes him there. She doesn't have the lasso at first. This is important. So they do the whole, like, they even homage to the No Man's Land from the Wonder Woman movie. So they need to interrogate a Nazi because it's like there's going to be like an attack. So they sneak back onto the island and take the lasso. And then, this is how they explain Wonder Woman being evil and injustice. So you're ready? This is the most BS reasoning ever. So Steve was a Nazi the entire time. And and the idea was he's going to steal the lasso, but he ends up shooting an Amazon and killing her. So Diana strangles him with the lasso and has this very negative opinion of man from now on. But then here's why that doesn't work. You ready? She then goes on to serve on the JSA and the JLA. who she calls the best men she's ever known. So I'm like, okay, so just because one guy was an a-hole back in your time period, all of a sudden you want to subjugate man's world? And then in the games, it's implied that she pushed Superman to be a dictator to pacify man's world. So I'm like,
it was.
what
She
the
was
hell is
basically
this?
My view of Injustice Wonder Woman. And by the way, again, like the voice cast in Injustice is really good. So there's nothing against the actors there. We have Susan Eisenberg as voicing Diana again,
who I've
so
spoken
that
to
amazing.
on the phone about our project.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, we reached out to so many people.
Yeah, and we are good. We do want to bring her in on it very soon.
Yeah,
but it needs to be the right time.
The right timing is everything. I think there's a comment here about. I would like to ask Brian and Navid, if they don't mind, would you guys agree that Injustice ruined Diana's reputation, or at least played a big role in why people see her as bloodthirsty? I think that's the question.
Possibly, but it is in Elseworlds.
Well, the other thing is that people don't regular people don't differentiate. And here's the thing: too many writers like Tom King portray her as like too bloodthirsty and as a warrior. Too much on the because yes, she is a warrior. That's part of it. Yeah. But it's like the minute I heard Tom King say she's a warrior for peace, and that's a walking contradiction, I go, that's not what that means. The way I always interpreted it is like, if you remember an old quote by George Washington, he's like, the best way to guarantee peace is to be prepared in case you ever have to take that action. Diana's prepared for violence, of course, she's a warrior, but that's never, under any circumstances, going to be her first option.
It's always her last.
It's always her last.
No,
but
I mean,
if you get to that point, God help you.
Yeah, right. I think it probably contributed to it, but here's the thing is, I believe that society today does not, Neil deGrasse Tyson was being interviewed by someone, and they asked him how he felt about something. And he said, well, that depends. What is the situation? And the guy was pressing him. And Neil said, everything is on a continuum. Everything is on a spectrum. So you need to find out where you are on that spectrum and then figure out. Wonder Woman is one of those characters that sees the world through those eyes, is that she's able to see the minutia and how something will or won't work. She is able to discern where you are in a particular situation. And I don't think that our society understands her, because she is one of those characters that she only does it in a last resort. Yes, she does. She is prepared. And in my opinion, she actually is a warrior for peace, because a true warrior, just like true masculinity, is being able to be calm, be silent, say no, and then explain why. That's what, to me, what masculinity is.
And be a protector if you need to. And
being a protector is, yes. And I don't think that we have fully embraced that, because we've been so indoctrinated into the ways of kind of almost a toxic patriarchy. And we're just beginning to pull out and see, okay, where would the good balance be?
Yeah, and that's the thing. You need balance. And that's why I always say the number one thing that you need to understand Wonder Woman is that balance between, yes, again, there is a time for her to like engage in full-on warfare. That's why she has the sword and the shield. But that lasso, yes, she uses it as a weapon, but it's not always a weapon.
And that's the thing. She doesn't always carry the sword and shield.
Yeah, exactly. It's dependent on the. Obviously, if she's fighting Doomsday, yeah, I think the sword and the shield could be helpful. Yeah, exactly.
Remember War of the Gods?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
War of the Gods on the front. She said, "I'm ready for war." She got the battle axe and the shield, and she was ready. But she didn't wear it any other time except when she was ready to go to war.
Or it's like the Rucker Run, Eye of the Gorgon, when she was gonna go fight Medusa, she goes into that room, comes out like an entire Spartan warrior, and I'm like, oh,
brilliant! Yeah. I loved it.
Anytime Diana fights blindfolded, it is the coolest thing. When she takes out the entire Justice League blindfolded, and Batman and Superman will look at each other like,
What?
Yeah, what just happened? Yeah,
What just
that was
What's
a
going
good
on?
run too.
The Flash and Martian Manhunter are among those, mind you.
Yeah, totally. For all this, I'll just say one quote from the Gail Simone era. I'm pretty sure every Wonder Woman fans knows this. When
I
she
know what you're
goes,
talking about.
"Don't kill if you can wound. Don't wound if
Don't
you can
wound if you
subdue.
can subdue.
Don't subdue if you can pacify. And don't raise your hand at all until you first
Extended it.
First is the key
And-
word there. First.
Yes.
Yeah.
It
First
doesn't mean
extended
only.
it in friendship.
And
all the time.
That just encapsulates Diana so well. To fans of Injustice, and I know Injustice 3 is coming out soon. It is in development. Read the Gail Simone run. That's all I'm
Please
just going to
read
say.
that. Please read.
Yeah.
Read any version of Wonder Woman, really, except for Tom King.
Can I just
go ahead.
respond to Britt Evans down here?
The co-host.
So when Marston created Wonder Woman, he kind of played a trick on us. He wanted us to be interested in her and made her look like a pinup doll.
Yeah.
That
was done.
He purposely sexualized
so
us so that we would go, oh, ooga, what's this? But then we found out that the sexualization was just to get you interested in, oh, love. Oh, like real love? Oh, okay. All right. What's that about?
I mean, there were a lot of panels of her being tied up, so there was that. So
true, but it was representative of something else. Although, it got our interest.
Well, the other thing is, like, who was the comic book reading audience at the time primarily? What's gonna attract boys?
True. It's gonna be some girl in some little shorts.
Yeah, exactly.
But he was looking at the reason why she was always bound is he was looking at the most non-violent way to have her in a situation like that. And that's what he came up with. And he was literally right. But I don't think that people,
took it well,
Yeah, they didn't take it that way.
That makes
sense. This is before comic censorship, like 10 years before that. So they had a lot of things that they could explore.
It doesn't help that every time DC does a documentary, they always frame it like, oh yeah, he put Diana in BDSM stuff, and I go, hearing that, I'm like, that's not what that is.
That's not what that is.
So I'm like, okay, that's interesting.
And also, like, Marston was primarily a teacher, and the thing is that when he, as a psychiatrist as well as a teacher, he was probably one of the few writers working at DC at the time who went ahead and said that, you know what, we can educate people with comics.
Yes.
And that's something that other writers weren't doing.
And here's the other thing, and I think this is going to lead me into probably my last topic, is that Marston was primarily a healer. And so Wonder Woman, he did this beautiful thing, is he said, what is the problem with America right now? What is the problem with our society right now? Oh, I know. Let me give you the answer. Here's the inoculation. Here's the antidote to what your issues are. And what was Wonder Woman dealing with back then? She was dealing with violence. She was dealing with toxic masculinity. She was dealing with,
Nazis.
Hatred, Nazis, racism, geopolitics. I mean, all of those things she was dealing with, and here we are today, and she literally was the answer for us. Oh, we have to love ourselves. Oh, we have to love our neighbor. Oh, we have to be honest and truthful.
Steve Trevor can be vulnerable.
Right, Steve Trevor can be vulnerable.
So you mean I shouldn't be an a-hole to people who disagree with me?
Right.
No way.
Crazy. It's crazy talk.
You're a soldier. You can get you can get wounded as a soldier. What? So
really,
we don't have to escalate every situation. Oh, that's weird.
Yeah, exactly. In fact, I learned that from Power Rangers of all places, where one of the rules is don't escalate a fight, and I'm like, okay, that makes sense. It's like don't like rush into it to like a combat situation. But the other thing is like going to back to Wonder Woman's devotion to truth. That's why the relationship with Batman does not work fundamentally, because Batman's whole thing is deception. And it's like when you have two, and then people will reply with opposites attract. Not when the things that makes them opposites are so diametrically opposed to like who they are as people. There's a very big difference there.
I learned so much about my own relationships just from watching that, and that's all I'll say about that.
I'll just say something to Tom King fans, or Tom King haters, and they might hate me for saying this, but there's this one issue of Batman that he wrote where it was Diana and Bruce. They were stuck. Yeah,
I know what you're talking
you remember
about.
What I'm talking
the one he plagiarized.
Okay. Go ahead. You go ahead. You continue.
It's plagiarized. So there's a Superman issue. Okay, so here's the plot of the Superman issue. Stop me if this sounds familiar.
No, I remember that. Yeah.
So Thor, the god of thunder, shows up and tells Diana, "Hey, you have to come and fight this war for like he doesn't tell her they have to stay there for 1,000 years." So she takes Clark with them. And they fight for 1,000 years. Then there's a scene where they almost kiss, but they decide, "Hey, it'll always be Lois and such."
It'll always be Lois.
What happens in that Batman issue?
The same thing, pretty much.
Literally to the point where he even copied the like bait and switch, to the point where when Tom King was called out on it, he said, "Oh yeah, I never read that issue." And I go, "Then why is it exactly the same?" Like down to the bait and switch.
I'm pretty so both of those are really good issues in my in my estimate. So I think that was a good example of Tom King saying, "You know what? Yeah, Batman, Wonder Woman, even though DC is trying to push for it, it doesn't work in the end."
They even said this will never happen, and I'm like, that's the one redeeming quality of that issue. I bet you put that dialogue in there.
Check.
And I think a lot of fans, responded. I think the fact that fans responded so well to both of those issues, I think that says something to what DC should be paying attention to.
Well, speaking of Tom King, Navid and I are actually going to include some Tom King stuff in our next big Wonderboy
I can't wait
installation, because, and everyone's going to hate me for this, I really think that Tom King did a really incredible job of really steeping Wonder Woman in our own reality. I think he did a really...
He ignored her reality
character
as well.
He ignored her
because
character.
He said he didn't want to have the Wonder Girls or the gods or anything like that. He just wanted Diana and made her like obsessed with Steve Trevor to the point where it's a little unhealthy.
Well, you'll be happy to know that Navid and I did not ignore that reality. We definitely incorporated that too.
But by the way, I made a little Tom King clip. Would you guys like to see it? Okay, so again, as I brought up before we went live, the fan base does not like Trinity. So I thought it would be hilarious if I made certain clips.
Excuse me.
Let's see it.
But I think this is yours.
Oh, I got one more. I got more.
Hereby complete the mission of the Amazons by ridding this world of you forever.
I made like 5 of them.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Exactly. But that's the thing. He took the clay origin and put Steve Trevor in there. In other words, she took like essentially the half of Steve Trevor's spirit so in other words, he involved a man in the clay origin. I go, bro, that's like trying to put Zeus in the clay origin. That doesn't work.
Not so much.
Yeah, but anyway, as you were saying.
Oh, so I would kind of add something to it. Yeah. All the criticism against Tom King recently, the one person Phil Jimenez based Bobby Barnes on, right? Mm-hmm. Wrote this brilliant article about Tom King's run on Wonder Woman. I think people should go ahead and check that out. I think it appeared on his website on The Atlantic. So yeah,
I'll check that out. Was he in favor, or was he like saying how like?
Let's just say that he hit the spot on all the things that went wrong with the Tom King run. So, and it was a very well balanced.
I'm
article.
definitely going to spread that. I'm definitely going to spread it because here's the thing.
Nice.
Here's the thing. So he literally goes into this saying that like, I'm doing this so people know that Wonder Woman's awesome. And I go, bro, we already know that. He had an entire issue. Remember the issue where like she like visits a cancer patient? And I go, okay,
the early one.
Here's a problem with that. Actually, two problems with that. Number one, he has the kid go on a thing saying, I'm a boy and I like Wonder Woman. Is there something wrong with me? And I go, bro, that's not a thing anymore. Number one. Number two, so she does this while she's a federal fugitive. So guess what? You put a target on that kid's family for aiding and abetting a known fugitive. What are you doing?
Oh, yeah, I guess what you mean. Yeah.
So if you had started, that should have been the first issue. If that were the first issue, I would have been like, okay, that's fine. But
it was very early on, right? Yeah, it was like in the early part. Yeah,
I think it was issue like 3 or 4 or something like that. And Britt, if you know, you can drop in the chat. But one of them, it was that one. And I remember thinking about that. I'm like, okay, I get what he's going for. Well, also, the other part that I really don't like is him going on a big tirade about how he's like, how it's like weird that how it's supposed to be weird that there are male Wonder Woman fans. And obviously the three of us are like, WTF, bro? WTF? I'm like, I'm wearing a hoodie. I got the blanket. What are you doing?
I don't think he's completely far off. But I do think, and I hope Tom doesn't hate me for this.
Yeah,
but
I'm just reading the comments. I'm just agreeing with the comments right now.
I do think that there's, I'm almost reticent to say it, but I get the feeling that first of all, he's a brilliant writer. I love how he structures. I love how he structures the story. I love the way that how his telling is unfolding. However, here's the part where he's missing. He's missing the character of Diana, and I think he's missing the character of Diana because of his ego. I have a weird feeling that he isn't able to get into her shoes because he's not able to completely identify with her. And that's okay. You know, people miss her all the time. Zack Snyder missed her.
That's very debatable, but so here.
Oh, I don't think so. I think he got he got about 60% of it, and then
I got news for you. The first movie is heavily under his influence.
So the article that
Patty Jenks wasn't there, I probably wouldn't have knocked it out of the park.
Well, here's the thing.
So
when Patty Jenkins had the most involvement, 1984 happened. Granted, you also had Jeff Johns involved, so there is that. But it's like, I thought she was good in the Snyder cut at least. Please do not blame the Whedon cut on him.
Yes.
The Flash falling into it was not him. That's not him. That's not him at all. That's Joss Whedon, or as I call him, he must not be named.
I believe it.
He almost did a Wonder Woman movie, by the way.
I know.
Yeah. I have. Well, yeah.
I think I just saw
the script
here earlier today.
Oh,
yeah, I'm not kidding.
In Burbank, really? Oh, wow.
No, in Studio City.
Okay.
But
interesting.
So when Steve Trevor, so here's the chief failing of the King Run, in my opinion. He's fighting too much as someone that likes Steve Trevor and not Diana, because Steve Trevor can play a role, but here's the problem.
No ego.
Diana does, including creating Trinity, is motivated by Steve. She's an absent mother because she's so depressed about Steve dying. She builds him not one, but 2 statues, one of which is her like on his arm. And I go, no person is and Britt says King himself said he didn't like her in the first place. He identifies more with Steve for being in the military.
Male ego can't put himself in her shoes, identifies more with Steve. I think I'm almost dead on here.
Check this out. When Steve died, Diana steals the American flag that's draped over his casket and cries into it.
Yeah.
Oh, there's that one.
Yeah. So I'm like, bro.
Oh yeah, that was the thing.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, and
so to kind of.
Oh no, is this true?
What this? Yeah.
She was shouting Stephen's child.
Yeah. Okay. So what? So this is in the most recent issue. Do you want me to spoil it for you?
Yeah, tell me.
So she fights Mouse
I
Man.
read it, so yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
dear.
she fights Mouse Man,
I
and
need a drink.
Mouse Man's whole thing is that he also like actually, you know what? There's so much a stupid part with this. Hang on. So Diana's
God.
daughter, so she brings her daughter on a backpack into a war zone. So
Okay.
that's the first part.
That's very
And-
Xena Warrior Princess.
Yeah, except
Mouse Man
Diana would
knows.
never do that.
Mouse Man knows.
Don't even get me started on that. Yeah, oh yeah, and that. So it's a society where the only thing people are allowed to say is "Mouse Man knows, mice have ears." Somehow communication happens. So the daughter is kidnapped, and so Diane is screaming at this guy, saying, "You took my daughter." And then the only time she shows emotion is when she says, "You took Steven's child." By the way,
This doesn't
so they
seem like Diana.
Oh, how about when Diana coerced the Sovereign into carving the word liar onto his chest?
I was a little on the fence on that one.
Did you know that when she went to the gods to investigate a murder, she took Batman with him, and the gods said, and Zeus said, there are gods, there are men, but then there's Batman.
Yeah, that
and
was
then
cute.
at one point she went to go fight gods, and she said, "This is blasphemy." And then Wonder Woman goes, "Ask me if I care about blasphemy." And I go, Wonder Woman saying she doesn't care about blaspheming the gods. Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
and I'm like,
that was weird. Sometimes you got to do a little bit of research for your mythology. My question for go ahead. No, I was gonna say that it was weird how we saw the Olympian gods there, but they didn't really look like the gods that we saw in like 2 or 3 issues prior to that. I think because of another Universal reboot. Because of that.
Well, the other thing is like, so then it's like, it's the idea because again, and King has the nerve to constantly say, "I know comics," and I go, bro. If you have to constantly tell people you know comics, you don't know comics. That's like me walking into a Fortune 500 office and saying, "I'm the boss here. I'm the boss. You have to do everything I want to do." Oh, she also has again, everything she does is motivated by Steve Trevor. Everything.
Oh,
everything. Right. But anyway, as you were saying,
oh, dear.
I think for Tom King, people would really benefit from reading Who's Afraid of Wonder Woman by Robert Jones Jr. I just found the article right now. Mm-hmm. So that's Robert Jones Jr. is the man who inspired Bobby Barnes originally for Phil Jimenez.
Yes.
So he's an award-winning author right now, and I would, if you love Wonder Woman, read his work. If you don't like Tom King's work and want to see a more direct criticism of all the things that got wrong with it, read that article, Who's Afraid of Wonder Woman by Robert Jones Jr. If you like the New Adventures of Wonderboy and want to get into Bobby Barnes' head a little bit, read the article, Who's Afraid of Wonder Woman.
Good. Oh, she also tortures a god, by the way. I want to bring that up.
God.
Oh, Dionysus, right. Yeah.
Well, and when you realize that like Tom King spent time in the CIA, the whole torture thing actually makes a lot of sense. But
what?
It's weird. Okay. So Tom King apparently has a thing where like Diana will get slapped and or punched by people, like her own daughter.
What?
Yeah, she does get. She is on the receiving end of a lot of violence in the current.
The other thing,
it seems like the opposite of what Marston intended, if you know what I mean.
So there was a moment in this. So the contest. So they show the what I assume is the contest or something like that, and they're doing the bullets and bracelets thing, and then Hippolyta is telling Diana to take it seriously. And he goes, "When I've done this before, I had to." She basically implied that Hippolyta killed the Amazons who failed, like she shot them in the head. And I go, "That's never been a thing. It's if they miss, if they don't deflect, it's a shoulder hit. It's not a head. Why are you going for the head?"
I mean, that's still an injury you don't want to bestow upon the people of your own country. So there's
it seems very anti-Marston. The more that I hear about it.
The more trust me, dude. When you read the issues as you go on, it's like, because I made it 19 issues. I'm like, because I was like, okay, you know what? This could be good. This could be really bad. Unfortunately, it was really bad. So I'm reading through it and I'm like, okay. The minute I hear Wonder Woman say that she ate a rat, I'm like,
You're like, wait, what's happening?
What was that foreshadowing for Mouse Man? I don't know. It could be.
Maybe, I don't know. But it's like that's the point there. It's like, yes, he can write other characters. He cannot write he cannot write any of these characters.
I will just say, a few good things about Tom King, because really don't want to just criticize someone all the way. Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow is a brilliant book.
Even though it's not Supergirl, that's the thing.
Well, it is Supergirl. It is Kara. It has Comet. It has the centaur that Cersei turns into a horse in it, which was a deep cut.
True.
But I would recommend that book because of the artwork alone.
Well, yeah, of course. He gets the best artist. That's why his book sells.
And
like Sam Pear's on Wonder Woman when he's not drawing her stiff, it's perfect.
No, he has some really good artwork there, even with the current run.
Yeah, exactly. Or it's like, by the way, the other issue. So there's a companion series called Trinity, the daughter of Wonder Woman. Diana only shows up in one issue, and then she's eaten by Cerberus, and then it's all a setup for Steve Trevor to get to give Diana to give Trinity a motivational thing, because to quote Steve Trevor, the series is about fathers and daughters. The series called Daughter of Wonder Woman.
Daughter of Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
I think the subplot with the corgi is going longer than it needed to.
Well, yeah, the whole series is that, and here's the thing: it's not selling. So this is the one time where I tell DC, can you retcon this? I'm at the point that the Wonder Woman fandom is straight up like, get rid of Trinity, do not keep her in any form. Hence my clips I made. But it's like, but it's like, if you're telling me her motivation is because Superman and Batman have kids, Wonder Woman needs a kid, and I go, thank you. And then Britt does Twitter threads about why King's Wonder Woman sucks. But yeah, and Lord knows, as anyone that's been in a Facebook group with me that deals with Wonder Woman has no doubt seen my thumbnails. So there you go. That's mostly
okay. Let's leave Tom King alone.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. But to wrap up, let me ask you guys this: what's the one thing to understand Wonder Woman? What do you think most people have to understand about the character?
Her message.
Well, yeah, that's true.
Sincerity, I would say. Go back to the Linda Carter series and look into the concept of sincerity. Yeah. And at the time and by the way, this is the 50th anniversary of Linda Carter's series. Yeah. We just hit the big 5-0, and just this month. And the idea is that when they did the New Adventures of Wonder Woman, or also I think the pilot was called the New Original Wonder Woman. Right. The one thing that Linda Carter brought to the table was the idea that you could do superheroes with sincerity rather than being full on lampooning or satire. And that really started a trend in pop culture that wasn't there before. So yeah, sincerity.
One of my favorite lines in the Linda Carter Wonder Woman show, by the way, it has to deal with Mariposa, and we resurrected Mariposa, who, by the way, the actor who played Mariposa on our show also appeared on Peacemaker.
Oh, okay.
And he was wearing purple the whole time. I thought that was really cool. I was like, whoa, this is freaky. But one of the coolest lines I think that Wonder Woman has ever uttered on the Linda Carter series is when she walks into a room where Mariposa is giving his spiel. She crosses her arms and she says, "I'm beginning to lose my patience with you, Mr. Mariposa, and that's not something I've done in 500 or 600 years." That is Wonder Woman.
There you go. That's the attitude.
That's the attitude right that Wonder Woman should have. She knows how powerful she is. She doesn't have anything to prove. She doesn't need to go in guns a-blazing. She doesn't need to, tear down the building. one of her strongest superpowers is the wisdom of Athena. She
Mhm.
goes in, she talks through things, she figures out where you are, figures out where this person is. If she needs to, she'll break a wall so she can get out or do a spin. But she doesn't need to go in guns a-blazing and chopping people's heads off and, cutting people up and telling people, cutting into their chest. Like, she doesn't need to do any of that. She's Wonder Woman. She's more powerful than, in the Marston comic, she was more powerful than Superman. And
She
so
still is, in my opinion.
It was.
yeah,
It
me
was.
too.
I mean, she was. Yeah.
Thank you.
And so she just doesn't need to do that. But what she does need to do is she needs to be an exemplary individual. She needs to be leading with love first, which is how we got the tagline.
Mhm.
Because that is
Lead
her
with love.
message. Her message is love. Her message is unity. Her message is peace. And so I think that's what people need to understand about Wonder Woman. Yes, she's a peacemaker. She's a diplomat. She is, she is a warrior of the highest caliber,
Mhm.
but that's her last resort. She doesn't need to use that every time.
Yeah, exactly.
And also, like, she is very anti-war. She's very
Yeah.
anti-war.
Oh, yeah.
That's something that people don't get. Wonder Woman 2017
Mhm.
was not a war movie. It was an anti-war movie.
Yeah,
So-
Yes.
exactly.
Yeah.
She was
And-
there
and
to
they
stop
said-
the war.
And they said that that's why they
And
put
look
it
how she tried to do
in
it.
like World War One, because the idea was that's when war got like particularly brutal with like chemical warfare and stuff. So they're like,
Yeah,
let's
yeah.
put in there to show
Modern
you how
warfare.
horrible this action is.
Yes, and I didn't like how she tried to stop it, but because I thought that was like, whoa, that's not Wonder Woman. But
Yeah.
we
But that
got what
was a
we
good
got.
character arc. That was a whole character arc where she learns,
It was.
okay, this doesn't work. Yeah. And
She's
that-
like,
Yeah.
oh, this doesn't work. I have to now I know only love can save the world.
That worked very well. I love where we're like all of a sudden she can like throw around the god of war like real easily. She's embraced love, the power of friendship.
we needed Aphrodite
worked.
more. We needed
Which it
Aphrodite
does
to kind of
work.
show.
Those bracelets, it's funny because at the end of the movie, like, my brain was going ding, 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 ding. Oh my God, this is amazing. Because the bracelets were a gift from Aphrodite,
Mm-hmm.
the
That's
goddess of
something
love,
that people
to
the
show
goddess
her
of love,
how
they
to
don't
really,
really-
embrace her power
There you go.
and to
love that.
harness
And
it.
and find strength through love. And
Yes.
that's something that you don't get with the power of the sun. To go back to Apollo.
Yeah.
The earlier part of the conversation.
Oh yeah. So this was fun. You guys are always welcome on. I'll be eagerly anticipating the series, and obviously, if you guys are on YouTube at any point, you'll probably come across me ranting about Tom King. But
Absolutely.
Fantastic. I look forward to it.
so let everyone know where they can find you again.
It is one of a few places. Number one, we have a website, wonderboytvshow.com. It's also wonderboytv.com. But Wonderboy TV Show at Wonderboy TV Shows, where you can get all of our social media, whether it be Threads or YouTube or Twitter. Go to at Wonderboy TV Show and you'll find us there. But all of our episodes are on YouTube. So go to YouTube, type in at Wonderboy TV Show, and you will find us, the new Adventures of Wonderboy.
Sweet. And
Absolutely.
Exactly, and it has the Comics League seal of approval, so I'll give you guys that.
Yes.
I'll give you guys that. But yeah, so we'll play the trailer for Athena, and then we'll walk out. So we will see you guys later. Bye bye.
Thank you so much. Bye.
My home has been invaded, my people slaughtered, and I could not do anything to stop it. Not again. I will not lose another home, another family. I am Princess Lyra of the planet Sutragar, Athena, the goddess of thunder, and this is my story.